Hi there. In this video, we're going to take a look at a great extension that was brought to my attention by James Sayer on Twitter, and it's Insert Learning, a really cool tool that enables you to insert questions live into a website. So let's go in and let's take a look. So here I am in the Chrome Web Store, and this is the extension we're talking about, Insert Learning at insertlearning.com. And I've added it to my Chrome just to play around with it. So just click Add to Chrome is what you'll see there. And then you'll see that the Insert Learning icon appears in the top right hand corner here on your extension bar. So what we're going to look at now is what actually happens when you go to a website and you want to use Insert Learning. So I'm here on the BBC News website and I found an article that I want my students to read. Okay, it's an article about key workers trialling the new NHS tracing app on the Isle of Wight. And there's lots of information here that I want them to be aware of, and I want to ask some questions around. So from the point of view of being able to use this really easily, all I have to do is go up to the top here while I'm on the page and click Insert Learning, and you'll see I get this toolbar. And it gives me the option to highlight particular text, so I can choose text to highlight. It gives me the option to insert a sticky note if I'd like to. There we go, so I can insert a sticky note here if I needed to, and I could even record into that or embed YouTube links and codes. Equally, if I've got an embed code from something like a Google form, I could take the embed code for that and embed it right in here. And if it's a quiz, I could have it self-mark for me. I'm going to take that out for a moment. Then I've got the option to ask a question, and you can see it's kind of sorting here. So if I click on this particular question here, I click ask a question. What might this suggest? I've made as the question here. But you can include a second question if you need to. How does the app work? And you can see it's already thought of some suggested questions. Okay, one question that you've thought of. So you have a choice when you're doing this. Okay, how the app works. So I might look, for example, here and say, right at the very top here, how the app works. So say, for example, I want to ask a question about how that app works. I've got some suggested stems here, so I can write my own sentence or question, or I can use any of these. So keywords, skim, vocabulary. I'm going to ask them to summarize the above diagram. So it doesn't quite work. So rather than choosing a question, I'm going to create one of my own. Summarize the flowchart in your own words. Okay, and I might offer them different point value for that. I might give them 4 points as a 4-point question, and I'd create that and drop it in there. Okay, and then all I need to do, once I'm happy with it, and I've got lots of options here, is assign it to students. Okay, so I can see what it looks like as a student. I can preview it. This is what the students are going to see. All right, I can go back to the teacher view, and I'm now going to assign that to students. So I click Assign to Students, I create a class, and I've created a test class here, but you'll notice it also links to Google Classroom and to Microsoft Teams as well, or you can just use a copy link. It's entirely up to you. But I've got a test class, and I've actually already assigned this, but I would just click Assign here. So I'm going to close this particular window and go across to the one that I've already assigned, and this is here in the dashboard. So here's that same page. Here's what I assigned. And all I need to do to get to that dashboard is to click here and go to dashboard. I click on the particular lesson that I want to work on. So I've got different classes here, and the class code is available here to share with the students to let them join. There are further resources like tools for embedding, which gives you a list of everything that you can embed into this particular extension. I've got my lessons here, and what I can do is I can edit, move or delete them, or share with other teachers, and I can assign them. But what I'm going to do is just go in and have a look, because I know some students have already reported on this. So what you'll notice now is I can now see view all responses, and if I click on that, we can see how people have responded. So this is suggesting that we could be past the peak, apparently. So let's just close that again. Daily increase in deaths is lower than at any point since the end of March, but figures reported at the weekend tend to be lower and expected to rise. So we look at the answers. So Richard said that we could be past the peak. He's right, we could be. Darren said we are, and we might be. And John said government is worried about people becoming too careless about their adherence to the rules before the threat is really subdued. Okay, so I might put in here excellent points. John, how will we know if we are past, if we are safe to ease the lockdown measures? Okay, so I might extend that a little bit. There's 1 point available, so I'm going to give him his 1 point, and he will automatically now get some feedback on that particular question via email. I can then go through and have a look at other questions. So one question that you thought on based on the previous text, this is around how the app works and being within a certain distance of each other. So Richard said, does it work on all devices? So it works on iOS and Android. Is my feedback, but it's a good question. How close do you need to be able to register it? Well, good point. That information hasn't been shared yet. Again, another good question. And who will store the data? Yeah, will this data be removed once the app is no longer in use? Great point, considering GDPR, for example. Okay, so I've given them their feedback on that, and they automatically get that returned to them. So I can come into my dashboard again. I can go through and I can give all that feedback individually, but then what I can also do is go into the grades. I can filter by my classes. I can filter by the particular lesson, and then I can either filter by questions or by student, and I can look and see how everyone's done. Okay, so I can see how by question how things have worked out. I can see also any further questions that have been asked that I haven't yet marked, so I can see any gaps that I've got. It also gives me a class average and the ability to download those grades as a CSV file. Okay, so a really useful tool that you can use with any web page. And like we said, up here with the tools to embed, you've got the option to embed things like Flipgrids, Desmos, Google Forms and Slides, Google Maps, YouTube's, Quizlets, loads and loads of various different apps that you can embed into this particular extension to make your teaching and the learning far more interactive just from using a website. Okay, perfect distance learning.